The following podcast will contain spoilers, tangents, hot takes, and excessive foul language. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy the show.
Greetings, horror fans, and welcome to episode 329 of Frightmares. I'm your host, Austin Proctor, and joining me today for 2025's Death of a Unicorn is Gabrielle Proctor.
Hello.
Hello. We are doing... Was this your idea?
You said you wanted to watch a new movie, and I said... Or review a new movie, and I said, well, Death of a Unicorn is streaming this weekend, and you said, perfect.
No, I said, is that a horror?
Oh, yeah. And I said, yeah. And then you were like, yeah. And then it was in a really intense conversation.
Yeah, what I was going to do, we wanted to, I know I originally wanted to do a theatrical release, but I don't know. I was going to do I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I don't know. I didn't want to talk about that. I was like, then I came up with the idea, let's just do one that's streaming, that's readily available for everyone. And this one just dropped over the weekend. So we figured, why not?
So did Until Dawn, I think.
Oh yeah, that one did too.
I'm honestly...
That would have been fun to do. You didn't want to say that one?
I didn't want to mess you up in case you had already typed stuff, but also what I was really hoping was Clown in a Cornfield, because I do want to watch it. It was just not a movie that I felt compelled to go to theaters to see. I need to know.
I mean, it was pretty well.
But I need to know for the comfort of my own home.
It was pretty well received. I know that. A lot of people said they liked it.
Yeah, it just felt like a movie I'd watch on my couch.
It's got a 2.7, and we all know me with the 2.7s to the 2.9s. They're almost always a 4, but yeah, we'll see. It'll probably be out sometime soon.
It'll be out at some point, yeah. Oh yeah, we can add this to this year's list. I forgot.
Yeah, I already did that.
I forgot.
Way behind. So the last bonus episode in June, we talked about, Corey and I, about a whole bunch of stuff we had watched for the year. And since it's only been a month, I haven't really watched too much else, so I figured we would talk about upcoming horror movies for the rest of the year and what we're excited for.
Super.
I've got some stuff down here. I wrote down the IMDb descriptions on them all, but, like The Conjuring, it's like I don't really have to go and explain what that is. So
what is it?
What? Hit stuff. Let me tell you about the 4th installment.
How do Conjure?
So I did want to say, though, I watched a brand new movie last night in theaters called House on Eden, and I wanted to just briefly mention how unfortunately disappointing this was. If you don't know what House on Eden is, it is made by 2 extremely large content creators. Like, they have massive audiences. Call Me Chris and Selena Spooky Boo. And, I didn't expect anything from this. Really, the only expectation I had was that it was going to be funny, because they're funny. They make hilarious content. And it wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
I was like, these jokes aren't landing. This isn't very... I was just kind of sitting there awkwardly. And of course, I went by myself. I didn't have anybody to look over at and, make sure I'm having the right feelings. Like, am I alone in this? But it was very awkward. The story that went absolutely nowhere. Some of the worst camera work I've ever seen in a found footage movie, and that's saying a lot.
That is, you watch a lot of found footage.
Well, not only because I watch a lot, but because, the camera work in found footage is usually not the greatest. I was dizzying. I had to look away at times because there was just shaking all over the place. I don't know. And I feel even bad talking ill about this movie, but it just was not good. They needed much more plot development, much more lore. It just kind of ended, and everyone in the theater, there was like 12 people there. We all just kind of sat there and we're like, is that it?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So just goes to show you that just because you're famous and popular doesn't mean you can necessarily make a movie. I mean, I commend their efforts to do so. You know, we know from even just making a short film, it is not easy to make a movie. So, you know, it did not work for me. And because I was excited, I was like, "Ooh, found footage," but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't realize how hard that transition is because, yes, Selena Spooky Boo, her big thing that she got famous for was sleepwalking.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something she's actively doing. That's just a medical condition.
Right.
And Call Me Chris had her little skits. Well, you do those things, they become popular, you do more of them. Making a film, you have committed to an entire idea and you don't know how it turns out till after. And some people can't make that transition from small phone screen, short 1 to 2 minute videos to a full-blown feature.
It was really weird seeing them. Like the second they popped up on screen, I was like, this is weird. It just felt weird at first. So I already had this kind of odd feeling just because I'm used to seeing them on TikTok.
Yeah. So the transition is hard and sometimes it just doesn't translate. The talent you show somewhere else doesn't mean it translates completely over. Now,
there were some good elements. You know, it's like basically the plot is, you know, they're ghost hunters and Chris found this place and they all go explore it. There was some good elements of ghost hunting in there that were really cool. And there were a couple good scares, but ultimately it all just got bogged down with really no story progression. There was just a lot of questions. I wanted to know things like it was so open-ended with just nondescript things happening. So.
Yeah, you actually have to have something happen because who hasn't gone and abandoned gone and visited a supposedly haunted house in the middle of the night with their friends?
I haven't.
Oh, well, if I had $1 for every time I did that, I'd have like
$3.
About $3, which I'd give to the homeless man who was in that house who we accidentally woke up in the middle of the night. Sorry, bro.
If you're listening to this somehow. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a shame. Unfortunately, I had something else I was going to say, and then it flew out the window. Oh, I remember. There was one moment in the movie where, you know, the house, it's an abandoned house, there's no power, but Chris shows the camera something on her phone. I was like, first of all, weren't you guys struggling for signal earlier? And second of all, I could see that she was connected to Wi-Fi on her iPhone. I was like, and then that just took me out of the movie entirely. I was like, well, now I'm out. And I was like, yep. So...
Yeah, I don't remember. There was a movie you and I just watched where I was like, yeah, the plot, the lore they're setting up, they're not even following their own lore. I can't take you seriously if you're not even going to follow your own lore.
Darkness Falls? Was that it?
No, it wasn't that one. It was something else. I'll let you know if I figure it out.
All right. Well, enough of that. I don't like being mean to movies. You know, I don't. But yeah, for me, it just wasn't that great. So let's talk about some stuff that's upcoming that we're excited for. By the time this is released, this movie will already be in theaters, but Together is releasing on July 30th. Years into their relationship, Tim and Millie find themselves at a crossroads as they move to the country, with tensions already flaring. An encounter with an unnatural force threatens to corrupt their lives, their love, and their flesh. New body horror alert. I'm so excited. I love body horror. I feel like we haven't had I'm trying to think. I guess The Substance probably was the last body horror we got. And that was last year, so I take back what I was about to say.
What a great story.
Before I even said it, yeah, I guess The Substance was. But it was so much more than just body horror at the same time. There's a lot of social commentary. It wasn't strictly a body horror movie. I mean, was it? I don't know. What do you think? Now I'm just convoluting my own thoughts. I can't even... I guess that was body horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well... Never mind then. I'm excited for this. Allison Brie, brother Franco. What's his name? Matt Franco? That's not right. Dave Franco. What an interesting mashup. Like
those two?
Yeah.
They're married, so there's that.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're married. Have you not seen their press tour? It's so cute.
No,
because they clearly really like each other. And if you see the back of his phone, because there's a point where he's on an interview and they're like, text one of your celebrity friends, hey, I need an alibi. Pick any celebrity like friend coworker you know, when he holds up his phone to do it, you can see little photo booth photos of them on the back of it. But he texted Isla Fisher, who immediately comes back with, "Hey, it was so great seeing you last night. Can't wait to do that again." And he's like, "Isla Fisher's my girl."
Fair.
But they're married. It's super cute. They're pressed for this.
Well,
It's
fuck
adorable.
me. I'm off to a terrible start. This is great. I love this. But
I mean, not everybody knows that.
Yeah, I didn't, clearly. So, yeah, Spencer and I are seeing this tomorrow, which would be Friday night. And it's got great ratings. It's got like a 3.6 out of 5 on Letterboxd, holding strong. I think it's got like in the 90% Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't really give a shit about Rotten Tomatoes. So, yeah, I will report back on that, I'm sure, after I see that in theaters. But do you want to do some reading, or do you want me to do the reading? Because we all know how you know.
I can't read. We all know I'm illiterate.
No, I always ask you to read, but I don't ask you to, read it beforehand, so you always get mixed up.
Weapons coming out on 8/8. When all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanishes on the same night at the exact same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance.
See? I told you. This is from the mind of Zach Krieger, who gave us Barbarian. So, I mean...
Sold.
Even if it's half as good as Barbarian, it's still going to get like at least a 3.5 or a 4 from me.
And Josh Brolin is in it.
Yeah. And,
actually, if you look at the cast, there's a lot of, the cast is pretty well stacked.
Jennifer Gardner, whichever one. The girl from Ozark, she's in this.
Yes, and so is
Garner, I think.
the guy whose name I still haven't figured out how to pronounce, who played Han Solo in Solo.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Who's also in Beautiful.
He's in this?
Creatures, yeah. Ansel,
nice.
And however the hell you say his last name. I've tried. I can't figure it out. But, yeah.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Eldritch?
No, it's Ehrenreich. It ends in Reich. That's not great. Ehrenreich.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it. If somebody could tell me, that would be great, because I actually do like his acting. I thought he was adorable in Beautiful Creatures, so I don't care if that movie's
great.
trash,
Yeah.
or I never read the book, so I just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, there's not much that this is what I love about, this is how you market a movie. You give a basic summary like this, you give us a batshit trailer where you have really no idea what's going on, but it's enough draw to get you there. I'm sold. Like, I was sold from the second I heard this was announced, probably a year or two ago. So the fact that we're getting it and it's going to theaters, I'm gonna be there. So
I know you'll end up seeing it probably Thursday, and then I'm going with friends for their birthday on Friday because we have a baby and someone has to watch her. She's not going to that movie. I don't think she'll sit for that.
Nah.
So.
Yeah, and that one's 2 hours and 9 minutes. So,
oof!
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you
the
Sunday.
next day. So that one's exciting. Very, very ready for that one because Zach Krieger came storming onto the scene with Barbarian. My God, and that was a 5 out of 5 for me. I think that might have been my number 1 that year, or at least in the top 3 or 4.
Oh, I think that was my number 1 or number 2 that year.
It's 2022. That was.
I don't have that many lists. I can see it really quickly.
It was definitely in my number 5, for sure.
It was number 3.
It was number 3 for you?
But to be fair, Fresh and The Menu and Nope and Prey, it was a tough year for movies.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Though now we're looking at it, I'd probably put
Barbarian was my number 1. Okay.
I'd probably have put Barbarian over The Menu, thinking about it now, but Fresh is number 1 for me.
Barbarian, The Viewing, Fresh, The Menu, and X, and Smile, and Hellraiser.
It was a strong year.
2022 was good. Next up, we have something called Strange Harvest, releasing on August 8th. Detectives are thrust into a chilling hunt for Mr. Shiny, a sadistic serial killer from the past whose return marks the beginning of a new wave of grotesque, otherworldly crimes tied to a dark cosmic force. This comes from Stuart Ortiz, who also did Grave Encounters. So I am very excited for this because I'm pretty sure that was his last horror movie. I could be wrong, and I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure. And if you've ever seen Grave Encounters, it's a good time. I don't think I've ever met anybody who didn't like that. Okay, just kidding. He did It Stains the Sands Red from 2016. Oh, yeah, that was a really good movie. Okay. Wow, Grave Encounters was his first movie. That's insane. So, yeah, this is exciting. I do love a good cult. Oh, this isn't cult, sorry. I do love a good slashery cosmic-y movie, and I think this might be found footage as well. I think. I don't know exactly. I haven't even seen a trailer for it. I just saw it was the same director as Grave Encounters and was like sold. So I know Will said he wanted to watch that one, so I think we're going to try and link up on a Tuesday to go check that out.
Nice. Yeah, go for it.
So, yeah.
Can I just say that I really need them to branch out on the whole names thing, because you notice it's always like Mr. something or other, and it sounds like possibly a kids show host or
Mr. Crockett.
Yeah, imaginary creature. Like or imaginary friend. Let's branch out a little, because the Mr. thing is getting really played out, and to me, it's starting to feel really overdone.
The Misters in the horror world is the same thing that Lil for the rap world is.
It's getting there.
So, what do we have next?
Oh, yes. Jimmy and Stiggs. Coming out 8/15, a perfect storm of lousy news sees out-of-work filmmaker Jimmy Lang spiral into a bender during which he claims to have been abducted by aliens, and fearing their return, he contacts his old friend Stiggs to help him gear up for war. Well, all right then. That sounds like that could either be good or dumb.
So this comes from the guy, his name's Joe Bagos, who also did Bliss in 2019. He did VFW in 2019, and he also did Christmas Bloody Christmas from 2022. So if it's anything like those, it's going to be very like neon, just crazy colors. And I've already seen pictures from it, and it does look like the lighting on his sets are just incredible. Everything has some sort of hue or tone or bright purple something. So I'm excited. This also comes from Eli Roth is presenting this. It's part of his new thing called the horror section, where he gives money to so it's basically what he's doing is like what Blumhouse started out doing, giving micro budgets to filmmakers and letting them cook basically. So this is exciting. This is the first movie that Eli Roth is presenting under the horror section label. And I'm excited for this because I've seen everything from Joe Bagos, or however you say his last name, and I'm a fan of all of them. I know I'm in the very small camp of people who loved Christmas Bloody Christmas. I think it's great. It's a neon-drenched fucking hellscape of slashers and blood. So that's fun. That's probably one I'll go see without you, though, I imagine.
Yeah, have fun.
And that's getting a limited theatrical run as well. Next, we have Hell House LLC Lineage, and this is also getting a limited theatrical run. After a near-death experience, Vanessa Shepard faces nightmares in Abaddon. As mysterious deaths occur around her, she discovers her connection to the Abaddon Hotel, Carmichael Manor, and decades of unexplained murders. Excited, but it's not found footage. Why?
I'm sorry, because I like the first two Hell House movies. 3.
No,
I don't know where to get weird.
We like the first one is like one of the greatest. The second one is good. The third one was just not great.
Yeah, this feels like beating a dead horse. Like, okay, guys, you never had enough story for as much as you're going, because now we went from found footage. Oh no, we are actually in a haunted house. And it was creepy because you didn't know much of the background. You got a little snippet of some things, but other things were just completely unexplained, which made it creepier.
Yeah.
And the second film, you got even more into that, which was interesting. Third film, now we're dealing with cosmic forces. Fourth film, now we're somewhere else. Fifth film, okay, but did you know? And then you're like, okay, guys, what the fuck do these really have to do with the first two films, except that you're like throwing some elements from the first two into these to connect them in the vaguest way possible?
Well, I mean, the last one was really good in how they connected it, I thought.
Not that.
Oh.
It's what does this really, like, it's like they're spending so much time explaining it. They're taking all the creepy out of the first two films by over-explaining everything. Like, I never needed to know what was up with that clown.
Oh, yeah. And
0%.
And the fact that it moved in that one, I was like, I don't like
never needed to see that.
I was like, I don't like this at all, but it moved for a reason, so.
Yeah, but I didn't need to see that. Didn't need to see it move. Didn't need to know it was like that. To me, it was... That's creepy. Doesn't even make sense in this hotel, which makes it even creepier because why is it actively appearing around when it is not something that was originally associated? That's creepy. Mm-hmm. They're kind of just sucking the magic out of the first two by overdoing it.
Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. It just seems like a weird thing to do when all 4 of them have been found footage, and now we're like, nope, we're going traditional. Okay,
Sure,
right,
man, sure.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited, but we'll call it cautiously optimistic. So what do we got next?
The Toxic Avenger, coming out 8/29. A horrible toxic accident transforms downtrodden janitor Winston Goose into a new evolution of hero, the Toxic Avenger. That one looks like it's fun. If you know who the Toxic Avenger is, this is definitely going to be a different take, but it's still, what's the studio? Why did it leave? Trauma. The hardest to pin down of studios. Like, what is exactly the thing you're doing? Because sometimes it's horror. Sometimes it's like, are you making adult movies? Because you're doing some sketchy things. And that's what makes Trauma magical. They make no sense.
They do whatever they want.
They really do. They do that so much that you're just like, I don't know, it's Trauma, man.
Yeah, they've been around for like 40-something years doing independent movies, which is really just unheard of.
And
it's going to be a sad day when Lloyd Kaufman dies, I'll tell you that.
I have made many people watch Class of Nukem High, so.
What's going on? Nukem. It's so good. Yeah, I'm excited for that. You've got Elijah Wood playing what I assume is the bad guy. You've got Peter Dinklage playing the Toxic Avenger. Fucking amazing. Like, 10 out of 10, no notes. And I assume it'll be very oopy and goozy. So,
yep.
Yeah.
And cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Next up is The Conjuring Last Rites, coming out September 5th. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take on one last terrifying case involving mysterious entities they must confront. I know that Lorraine is supposed to be possessed in this one. We'll go see it. We'll go see it. It's fine. I'm excited, but again, this is also kind of like beating a dead horse. First two, great, loved them. Third one was fine, and then this one, it's like, okay, just end it after this, please.
I'm surprised they just haven't done something like a Conjuring, like a TV series, like Forensic Files, where they actually just go through the cases. I thought they were supposed to, but... Because I would watch the shit out of that. I don't care how...
terrible Ed and Lorraine actually were.
Oh, I was going to say what fraudsters they were, but sure, that too.
Well, yeah, same thing.
But like, it's interesting. It's like watching those videos where it's like, is this something haunted? Or like the Nuke's Top 5.
Shout out to Nuke.
Is it haunted or did someone play an elaborate joke? I don't care.
Yeah, you make the call. Let me know in the comments.
I don't care. It's creepy either way.
Yeah, so we'll see it, but I'm not holding my breath. So What do we got next?
The Jester 2. Was there a Jester 1?
There was. I never watched it because it just looked like an Art the Clown ripoff.
Oh, boy. Coming out September 15th. On Halloween, Max encounters the Jester, a sinister magical trickster. Oh, yeah, I see what you're doing there. They form a tense alliance for the night as she tries to outwit this truly supernatural being.
Wow, sounds exactly like the plot of the first Terrifier. Crazy.
So Max encounters the Jester, and they form an alliance to outwit someone else? That's...
Sure.
That synopsis, that little summary there, feels like it left out a third person. Because it sounds like they're teaming up with each other to defeat the Jester, who is part of the team.
I think tense alliance means they're not necessarily coming together. It's more... It just sounds like the first Terrifier. On Halloween... This girl encounters a clown. That is literally Terrifier.
Also, Max is getting overused in horror.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Moving on to something I'm, cautiously...
I'm interested about.
Cautiously optimistic here. Also, this is going to be December, not October. Black Phone 2 sans the... Instead of the Black Phone 2, it's just Black Phone 2.
Too many words. We don't have the budget.
To take them off.
Too black to phone.
Wow. Coming out on October 17th is Finn, now 17, struggles with life after his captivity. His sister begins receiving calls in her dreams from the Black Phone and seeing disturbing visions of 3 boys being stalked at a winter camp known as Alpine Lake. I'm excited. I don't know where we're going with this, because the ending of Black Phone, you're like, how are we doing a sequel? But they've obviously got something in mind. So
I think it's the ghost of the guy, but I don't know why he'd be at a camp.
Well, spoilers there.
It was in the trailer.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Jeez, man.
Couple more here and then we're done. So yeah, that'll be fun. Gonna go check that out. All right, what do we got?
Predator Badlands coming out on my birthday, November 7th, which means it's going to be really hard to see because we'll be on the road that day.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen.
I don't know how. A young predator outcast from his clan finds an unlikely ally on his journey in search of the ultimate adversary. I'm interested. Apparently, they did a shit ton of practical stuff on this that people were like, this is CGI. No, like even
Me.
Elle Fanning on there's a shot of her strapped to the predator's back. They're like, no, that was real.
That's weird because
They're like, it was weird, but it was a practical effect.
Well, even when the predator comes up in the trailer, I looked at you and I said, God, that's some bad CG. And then I saw behind the scenes of the actual mask, and I'm like, how did it look so terribly CG? What is going on?
I don't know what you guys saw because I thought it looked cool.
I like the design. It just looks really CG'd. So
I didn't get enough of a look at it for me to personally to make that decision, but
I'm excited for this because they're mashing up Alien and Predator because Elle Fanning's character is a Weyland-Yutani android, which is amazing. And Weyland-Yutani is from the Alien franchise that also kind of commingles in the Predator franchise. So that's exciting. It's not necessarily an AVP movie, but we're combining elements from.
We're scooting a little closer over. We're just kind of scooting it a little bit. Scooch.
Oh, this one's also 12, not 10.
Maybe we'll get like some AVP movies that make sense and aren't
terribly lit. Yeah, that'd be great.
Not that I don't like AVP. It's a trashy good time, but like maybe we'll get some like
good stuff.
This is what we were looking for.
Hey, Dan Trachtenberg has already put out 2 incredible movies, Prey, and he put out that animated Predator movie, Killer of Killers or whatever.
That was cool.
So good. 2 more here. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 coming out December 5th. In 1987, after a rather unstable life, Jeremy Fitzgerald found work as a security guard at the new Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. But when he entered there, he would realize that not everything is as it seems. Okay, that seems like the synopsis to the first one, but all right. But yeah, just like Black Phone 2, I don't know where we're going with this really because of how the first one ended, but you got a story and there's plenty of fucking source material to pull from, so here we are.
I think it's just a different chain. Like it's the original restaurant because Freddy Fazbear's, Pizzeria would be a chain. So I think it's supposed to be the original restaurant.
He's been promoted to go watch the other one.
Yeah. I don't know about that part, but I think it's people minding someone else's business in a haunted building because apparently that's what we white folks do. Like, a haunted house. I better run in there full steam ahead.
Yeah, I made a meme a long time ago. It was like a family moving into a house, and it was like white people after they've been told 12 people got slaughtered here in horror movies. Just, yep, moving on in. Here we are. So,
yeah.
All right, last one, then we'll do this movie.
Anaconda coming out Christmas Day. What? That's random.
What a better way to spend Christmas than with a remake of a beloved 90s movie.
Yeah. A group of friends is going through a midlife crisis. They decide to remake a favorite movie from their youth, but encounter unexpected events when they enter the jungle. This is a bunch of people getting together to remake Anaconda, because if so, I want to see that.
And also, hold on, is it going to be found footage? Or is this going to be a found footage? Because it just said to remake their movie. So clearly there's going to be like a movie within a movie. Oh my God, I didn't even realize that. I just copied and pasted the damn IMDb summary.
Man, this has got Paul Rudd, Jack Black, Thandie Newton, Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is... he's been doing Righteous Gemstones.
What I'm really hoping is it's like Anaconda, but with elements of like Tropic Thunder, where it's like we're trying to make a movie.
I'm excited either way.
That sounds amazing.
Very excited.
It's really random, but I'm in.
All right, with all that being said, let's move on to the IMDb Roundup. There we go. This is Death of a Unicorn from 2025, released on March 28th of this year in the U.S. It is rated R for strong, violent content, gore, language, and some drug use. There was, that's
not technically a drug.
No sex and nudity, severe violence and gore, moderate profanity, mild alcohol, drugs, and smoking, and moderate frightening and intense scenes. Coming in at an hour and 47 minutes, little bit on the long side.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking, this isn't a horror movie. Fun fact, IMDb lists this as a comedy, fantasy, horror thriller, so it fits the criteria to be reviewed on this show. Directed by Alex Sharfman, who has only directed short films prior to this movie. Also written by the same guy, who's only written 3 short films prior to this. Composed by, Giosu Greco, who also composed 10 episodes of the Let the Right One In TV series. Then we have Dan Romer as well, who did the same thing, and also composed Self-Reliance, Lilo, and Stitch from this year. Cinematography by Larry Fong, who also did the cinematography for 300, Watchmen, and Super 8.
That's so specific.
He works with Zack Snyder a lot.
I can see that.
Yeah, edited by Ron Doolin, who also edited Resurrection from 2022, starring that one chick in The Night House, Rebecca Hall. There we go. Starring Jenna Ortega as Ridley, who literally everyone should know because she's in fucking everything, playing a moody teenager. Paul Rudd as Elliot, who, again, everyone should know because he's the fucking man. Then we've got David Pasquesi as Pilot, who was also in 5 episodes of The Book of Boba Fett as the Major Domo. We have Anthony Kerrigan as Griff, who was also in Superman 2025 as Metamorpho. Richard E. Grant as Odell, who was in Saltburn as Sir James Catton, and Spice World as Clifford.
Yay.
Good stuff. Tay Leone as Belinda, who was also in Jurassic Park 3 as Amanda Kirby, and Will Poulter, otherwise known as Eyebrow Kid, as Shepard, who everyone knows from We're the Millers as Kenny Rossmore. Estimated budget of $15 million, only grossing $16.4 in theaters, which is not that great. This movie was filmed in Slovenia and Hungary. You can watch this on Max, and movies that came out around the same time. We have Last Breath, In the Lost Lands, Mickey 17, The Rule of Jenny Penn, Novocaine, which we still need to see, Ash, The Woman in the Yard, Hell of a Summer, a Minecraft movie, The Amateur, Sinners, The Accountant 2, and Until Dawn. So,
you went to any of these movies I saw, so I'm not going to do that. But
Yeah.
I really thought for a second there, I'm like, I saw Novocaine. I'm like, nope.
sure did.
That is a different Novocaine with Steve Martin, Helena Bonham Carter, and Laura Dern.
Yeah, different
That's
one.
a weird movie.
IMDb summary: a father and daughter accidentally hit and kill a unicorn while en route to a weekend retreat where his billionaire boss seeks to exploit the creature's miraculous curative properties. This is Death of a Unicorn.
This entire nature preserve was donated by the Leopolds. It's truly untouched by man. Spotted any big game on the way in. The fuck was that?
Must be moose mating season or something.
Aren't you the most magnificent thing?
Unicorns used to be seen like these divine monsters because people fully believe that they could heal literally anything.
It's an opportunity for immortality.
We have a moral imperative to harvest every last one.
They're gonna kill us.
Called it. There's no negotiating with monsters.
So, Gabby, overall thoughts. What do we have? Because we didn't even talk about this after we watched it. So
No, we didn't.
I'm very curious to know.
I don't know. It feels like a mixed bag for me. There was stuff that I liked about it. The horror elements, the unicorn lore, but like the script was kind of all over the place to me. And I told you the CGI felt a bit wonky, which I felt like they could have done a bit better. And the story overall, like parts of it didn't work for me. So like it's kind of just sitting in the middle right now.
Sitting in the middle. Okay. All right. I can kind of get a gauge on where your rating will be. Overall thoughts for me, I didn't know what to expect when I went into this, other than the fact that I assumed a unicorn was going to die. From there, I didn't know where the story was going to take me. I thought it was hilarious. I really enjoyed the characters, and I thought they all worked very well together because it was such a interesting mix of actors. And yeah, the CG was a little wonky, but and some some points didn't exactly work for me, but I had a blast with it. I just wish it was like 10.
Oh, I know you did. You were trying so hard not to laugh out loud.
10. Yeah, well, because tiny daughter's sleeping and I'm trying not to bust a gut over here. And yeah, so I really had a lot of fun with it. And that's all I got. So before we do like the opening scene and stuff, I wanted to mention that how accurate the movie held to unicorn lore, which I really didn't even think existed.
Yeah.
Until I looked it up. So in the Western lore, purity and grace in Western folklore, unicorns are frequently portrayed as symbols of purity, innocence, and grace. They are often depicted as white, reflecting their association with virtue. Taming by virgins is a common theme in Western unicorn lore. It is believed that only a pure maiden could approach or tame a unicorn. The idea is connected to the creature's representation of innocence and the belief that they could be lured by a virgin's purity. Magical horns, also known as alicorns, are believed to possess magical properties, particularly the ability to neutralize poison and heal illness. This belief led to the practice of using narwhal tusks as unicorn horns in medieval times. In medieval times, the unicorn was adopted as a symbol of Christ in Christian art and literature, which is fascinating.
That's true.
Didn't learn that in Sunday school. The unicorn's association with purity and its ability to be tamed by a virgin women were seen as parallels to the Virgin Mary and the birth of Jesus, and hunting and capture, despite their perceived gentleness. Unicorns were also subjects of hunting and capture, often involving the use of a virgin woman as bait, which they literally do in the movies. So I thought that was interesting. I had no idea that there was this much lore on a mythical creature that may or may not, probably doesn't exist. So I thought that was fun. And when I was reading this during the movie, I'm like, wow, they're hitting every single one of these beats that is part of the lore. So, I mean, that also went into my rating because I was like, wow, you guys are really sticking to that shit. So
yeah, I mean, if you think about the movie Legend, which you saw this year.
I did.
Remember the unicorns only approached the young, pure-hearted maiden.
That's true.
And when the horn was removed, and then they captured it, like the bad guys captured it after she got near it, and then they cut the horn off. Well, the unicorn was only restored after the horn was put back.
Oh yeah.
So
look at that
unicorn.
Unicorn.
Sorry, I'm
lore.
not as deep on my unicorn lore as apparently my fairy lore, because when we watched and I'm just like, here's everything apparently I know about fairies right now.
And spoiler for that movie too.
Yeah,
gonna bleep that out. Sheesh. So the opening scene, we get the death right away. I give this movie props because it lives up to the title of the movie within the cold open. Jenna Ortega sees like the farthest reaches of the universe when she holds the unicorn's horn, and then Paul Rudd just fucking beats it to death. Good time. I thought it was a great cold open.
Oh yeah. I didn't have any problem with the opening.
No, I wasn't asking for any problems. I was just mentioning the opening scene and how the movie opens up. You can tell that they have a strained relationship as father and daughter. Did they say that that his wife died in the opening? Okay, yeah. So, he's like a single dad.
It's heavily implied, and then someone else clarifies later.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, the opening scene was good. It really kind of sets the tone for the rest of the movie. What worked? For me, first and foremost, the comedy worked. It's kind of deadpan. It's dark, and some of it is, I don't even know if this makes sense, like abrupt humor. Just humor that just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like they're having a normal conversation and someone will just say something that's hilarious, and it was like, oh, wasn't expecting that punchline. So I thought it was hilarious, but I don't know. You weren't laughing near as hard or as much as me. So I don't know if you even thought the movie was funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. Yeah. Paul
Not
Rudd,
to the degree you did, but I thought it was funny.
I never imagined that I would see Will Poulter snorting unicorn horn dust and acting like a maniac, and that was working for me so well.
Yeah.
It was giving Charlie Kelly energy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It was just a great manic performance, but everyone had some sort of comedic touch to them. Obviously, Paul Rudd's funny. I guess the only one that wasn't funny was Jenna Ortega. She was playing, again, another moody teenager with acne. That was so jarring when I saw her with acne. I was like, "You're too old for that, right?" I mean, I know I still get pimples, but to the degree she had, I was like, "This is strange."
The degree she had looked fake, which was really off-putting because
maybe that's what it was.
Like Saoirse Ronan, is that her name?
Who the hell are you talking about?
From Lady Bird and
sure.
She's been in all sorts.
You
of stuff.
asking the wrong bitch.
But in Lady Bird, she had all this acne from another film where she had to wear a lot more makeup. Oh. And because it made sense for the film in Lady Bird, they left the acne there. They didn't try to cover it.
Oh, interesting.
So it was her natural acne in her 20s. But yeah, it did look super fake on Jenna Ortega.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe
just
that's what it was.
Kind of like maybe she had chicken pox on her cheeks.
That's what I thought it was, and then the unicorn blood, basically cleared the clear. So I guess that's what you need. What's the big brand of
Clearasil?
Yeah, fuck Clearasil. I need to get some unicorn blood and just use that all over my body.
Smear it all over my face.
Smear it everywhere. Your skin will never look so good. So the comedy was great. Tia Leone was just one of my favorite parts of this movie because I feel like I haven't seen her since like Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
That's like the last thing I feel like I saw.
No, the last thing you saw her is Fun with Dick and Jane.
Okay, that was after, yeah. So I don't know where she's been, but it's not been in my realm of what I've been watching. And
I told you, she's done like 6 films in the last 10 years. In like the last almost 15. She hasn't done a lot, and then she did some TV.
So I'd love to see her kind of return to some more movies like this because she was so funny. I've always loved her as an actress, and her role in this was just fantastic. So the main points of the story for me are pretty solid. It's a pharmaceutical company that is terrible. They don't give a shit about anybody, especially fucking Edel. What was his name? Odell and Belinda, they're a married couple, and, Odell's in charge of the company. He doesn't give a shit about anybody. He just wants to make money. So they come across, this unicorn that Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega have killed and just thrown in the back of their car. They didn't bother burying it. They threw it in the back of their car, and they discover its magical healing properties, and they're like, oh my God, we could use this and make money off of it, and they just become very greedy. So I think that's actually a pretty interesting story. Yeah. I mean, like, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good, yes. I like that beat because it just shows, it's also a good social commentary on the greed of man and like caring about yourself and just wanting to do all that. So there's also a good social commentary. But I mean, the main bit of the story I thought was solid because, they discover, because Jenna Ortega gets like all this blood splattered on her face when, Paul Rudd beats the shit out of it, and they notice her acne is gone. Paul Rudd also got some blood in his eye. He notices that, I don't need my glasses anymore. So they realize that, I guess there's some healing power of the blood. And not only the blood, but they dust some of the unicorn horn and realize that it's like mega potent or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they start putting it in their drinks, putting it in their steaks. Will Poulter starts putting it up his nose. The second I saw the dusted unicorn horn, I literally said, I was like, if someone does not put that into a line and snort it like cocaine, I'm going to be very unhappy. And then that's exactly what happened. So that also went into my rating because I love when I ask the movie to do something and then it delivers. And then it delivered like 16 more times because he was just railing lines of dusted unicorn horn. I clearly enjoyed this movie a lot more than you did. Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm waiting for you to finish your list so I can say what I liked.
What did you have to say from the dusting lines of cocaine or dusting lines of unicorn horns?
I mean, I saw that coming from a mile away when he's just holding the little thing, and at one point he says, yeah, he needs a dime bag. And they're like, a what? And he's like, 3.5 grams. Like, that's a specific number. I don't know, man.
No, he said an 8-ball.
Oh, an 8-ball, sorry.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, we're using actual cocaine terminology here. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.5. It is an oddly specific amount. And it's funny because it's like, what the hell? Because it's an eighth. So it's an eighth of an ounce, which is 3.5 grams. That's why they call it an 8-ball, whatever. Oh. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where the ball comes into play. It's because it's whatever.
Because it gets twisted into a little ball.
Oh, yeah, it does. Wow.
With our powers combined, we're cracking cocaine code.
Cocaine code.
For some reason.
Well, and it's also funny, too, because I looked over at you one point and I was like, yeah, this makes sense because Voldemort also drank unicorn blood to sustain like his half-life.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't realize that was just unicorn lore. They're just magical healing beasts that, really don't want to be tamed unless you're pure and a virgin. So,
Yes.
but can virgin men also tame them? Is it just any virgins? Because I think I specified it was
Maidens.
Maidens, yeah. So
Yeah.
get fucked if you're a virgin and a boy. You can't tame a damn unicorn. So what did you think about the chemistry between Ortega and Rudd? Because I did enjoy it. I know we both agree that we're kind of just sick of Jenna Ortega, and it's not even really her fault. She's just been, it just feels like we're trying to make her happen. And I mean, she is, I guess, happening, but she's just in everything and she's playing the same fucking person. It's just moody teenager every time.
I didn't think their dynamic was that great. I thought the stronger characters were the elite people acting like, yeah, we're going to change the world. But what they're really saying is we're going to make so much money. And I really like that, guys. If we're doing this for everybody. Right.
Right.
But yeah, Jenna Ortega is just playing the same character over and over. And it's nothing against Jenna Ortega in general, but I'd like to see what else she can do because she's not even playing variations on the same role. She's just playing the same role over and over and over. And it's getting really stale. And Paul Rudd, I said, like, Paul Rudd's Paul Rudd. So I always like him to a degree, but I told you that he was my least favorite Paul Rudd character.
Yeah, which is
think
weird,
of.
yeah.
Well, because I got why he was doing, I already understood why he was doing what he did before he had his whole admission towards the end about why he was so stressed about going with them to get the money. But if your goal is to make sure your daughter's set for life, but you're completely obliterating your relationship by like blowing her off, dismissing her, shutting her down when she tries to talk to you, then what's even the point if how are you taking care of her if she's not speaking to you because you destroyed your entire relationship?
Well, yeah, and we're obviously going to see this from two different viewpoints because obviously you're female, I'm male. So, and I was trying to say, well, I mean, think about his position because think about the weird position he's in. He was trying to do a merger so that way they'd be set up, right? And then he could feel happy and confident, or not a merger.
He was trying to set himself up as the proxy.
And then he would have been set up and then he would have just done that job, blah, blah, blah. Well, then they come across a unicorn and now he's in this position of like, okay, if I don't help them do this, then I'm going to be fired and then we're fucked for money. But if so I kind of have to do this, but I'm also kind of blowing my daughter off. It's like he got blinded by trying to help her so much that he inadvertently suppressed her. So it's such a weird situation to begin with because of the whole unicorn aspect. But
and nothing was stopping him from pulling her to the side and trying to have a conversation with her. Like, what are you trying to say? Talk to me. Didn't do that. And also continuously showed no backbone, showing that he's not a reliable figure in her life because he's going to cave to whatever somebody else wants if they've got more power. So he's not standing up for himself. So terrible role model at that point. So it's not like I don't get what he was trying to do. It was just the way he was going about it felt so forced and so odd to me. There was no, I promised her, like they eventually have the whole, I promised her I'd do anything I could for you. So I promised you were going to be set for life. And that's what I'm doing. And like, yeah, but you're also just destroying her relationship with her one parent in the meantime. So it just felt like heavy-handed.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure he has an immeasurable amount of stress on his shoulders because he's now a single dad raising someone who's, teenager, probably almost in their 20s, and he also doesn't have his best friend there to help. So I couldn't imagine, like, if I were in that situation, let's take the unicorn aspect out of this because it's not real life. If our daughter was that age and then you just died, I don't know what the hell I'd do with my life. I'd be so miserable and sad, and it would be so hard to put on a brave face and be a good role model. And also, it would be tough. Like, that would be hard.
Yeah, but I also think you wouldn't be, like, dismissive of whether or not she was happy blow her off when she tries to express a concern to you.
I also don't know where my head would be at because I think my head would be so twisted up and I just wouldn't be in the right frame of mind. So, he's clearly not making good decisions because of where his head's at in his headspace. Like, did they say how long it had been?
It'd been
A couple years or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So,
yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't just the way he handled the situation made him the least likable for me of Paul Rudd's characters. They usually have a little more, you can see even when they're stressed, they still have some heart there. And you just, that was kind of void for him. And until the very end, like, then he was like, oh, I am doing all this because I care, not because I'm just blowing you off. So exactly. I didn't really like their dynamic that much.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Did you like the because I assume you probably liked the dynamic between Belinda and Odell a little bit better because they were such a wacky combination of characters?
Yeah. I liked the family. I liked the wealthy family more because they all felt like they were in it together, but would all absolutely backstab each other for a chance at success. Like, as soon as they find out Odell's cancer is cured, his wife's like, oh, are we sure?
Yeah,
like,
what
she
was that
sounds
about?
disappointed because she would have inherited.
Yeah.
And then you see that again later where she's in danger and she tells her son to blow up an air tank because the unicorn's killing her.
Like destroying her.
And he's about to do it, doesn't do it because that would be blowing up the thing that could get him more money. Literally, they're family, but they don't love each other more than they love money. And that, to me, was funny and is a real family dynamic that happens. Sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, we're family, unless a better offer comes along.
Yeah, what was that, though? Because there was that moment where she seemed upset that he was dying, but then it seemed like she turned around after a while. It was kind of...
of course, because she's going to be the sad, grieving wife. You're not going to be like, yeah, I can't wait till you're dead to someone, because she probably loved him, but not more than she loved the idea of inheriting his money.
Yeah, and then she also cuts him off from saying something to Paul Rudd's character. Mm-hmm. Something about the land that they're on and the natives gave them something.
Oh, I'm going to thank you with a gift. And he starts to say it because it sounds like he's going to make him a partner or something. And she does not want to share what the wealth they will get from this.
She's like, shush, shush, shush. No one needs to hear that. No one needs to hear that ever. And you're like, what?
Pretty much, which is how it's so obvious that they're stringing Paul Rudd along. He's not going to get shit out of this.
Yeah.
They're just promising him over and over again and have no intention on delivering.
Yeah, they were the best part of the movie. The rich, elitist, cocky family that doesn't give a shit about anyone.
Claims to be noble and not.
How many nods to things did they have? The Fen scare of 94 or whatever that was that she made, and she was laughing about it. They're just like, oh, this is great. And you're like, wow, you guys are so terrible, but you're also really funny to watch. I love rich elitist people in movies because it's just your morals are so out of touch with reality.
They literally were like, we're going to make more money on this than we did on Fen, which, fun fact.
That's what it was,
is a combination of two drugs, which actually...
Phentermine and fentanyl.
Yeah, which I think so. And which separately are fine. Depending on your health, but together causes heart damage and killed people and actually damaged my own grandmother's heart. So that is real.
Yeah, that was a real thing that they referenced and made like, oh, we made so much money.
Yeah, so now they don't prescribe those things together, but you can still, I think you can still get both. I know you can get one. I just don't know about the other one.
Yeah, well, fentanyl is an epidemic in itself at this point in the world because of how...
Yes. So two things that could easily be abused, but when used as prescribed and separately are safe.
Are fine, yeah. And the last thing that worked for me was Shep, which is Will Poulter's character, snorting and drinking the unicorn powder was just so goddamn hilarious.
Yes.
They tried it in a drink first, and then they tried it in their steak, and they did this, and then he snorts the line... And like you can see like the cosmos in his eyes. And then at one point he rips a fat bowl of it as well. And it was so goddamn hilarious.
It
was so funny. Just becoming more and more just like
manic.
Keyed the fuck up. So good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Anything else that worked for you?
I think we talked about the dynamic. And I think the thing that worked the most for me was that family and the way they act like they're really nice and kind, but in their actions and their in their actual actions, no,
not great.
No.
So what didn't work? There's some things here. Clearly the unicorns are fake. What?
The CGI was...
And they looked okay at best. I liked the design. They were horrifying at times.
But there were times where, like, if they were in broad daylight or there was a shot of one walking down the stairs, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we already mentioned Ortega. She's just being typecast at this point. It's not her fault. It's not like I don't...
Unless she's choosing to, then it's entirely her own making.
Well, that's why I told you. I said, that's why I think I like her so much in X, because she's not a moody teenager. She's this kind of proper...
she's a sheltered girl getting exposed to something
wild.
Very...
Yeah, especially
graphic.
for the time in the 70s. I was like, I think that's why I liked her so much in that. Plus, she gets a wicked death scene. Spoiler alert. And then I think the biggest thing that didn't work for me was Ortega's character, Ridley. She was all this research that she just happened to find on unicorns and was printing out all these maps and tapestries and all this shit. I get why they were using it. It was a plot device because she was basically warning them not to do these things, and they're so greedy that they don't give a fuck. They're going to do it anyways, but it just seemed weird how quickly she got a hold of all of this material on unicorns.
Which is, and I'd agree with that because, first of all, that is the most famous of all unicorn tapestries, so solid work on whoever Googled unicorn tapestries and picked the first one. Second, you remember when Mom took us to that thing about unicorns, those tapestries? You just happened to be at the place where this tapestry was a couple of years ago and remember that off the cuff?
No, she saw a picture of it she was scrolling through pictures of her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she just happened to have been there and happened to, the day they hit a unicorn with their car, be looking at old photos from that exact time years prior.
I don't think that's that hard of that loose of a connection, but
it's just extremely coincidental.
Well, it's a convenient plot device. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then, because I said at one point she has a book with unicorns in it. I'm like, where the fuck did you get the unicorn book?
Yeah, the stuff online I understand because you can Google whatever. But yeah, she had an actual physical book that I guess she just pulled from the library that didn't. I don't know.
Their library that just happened to have a book on unicorns in it, like all libraries. I mean, mine does, but that's not the point.
You're really not, defending.
There
your
are
case
unicorns
here.
in it. It's not about unicorns.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wink, wink, sure.
And that didn't work for me either because when she starts spouting off about why they shouldn't do it, she doesn't get to the point. She just keeps making vague statements so nobody gets what she's saying and mentioning the metaphor about Christ being the unicorn. You're like, girl, if you think you're in danger, you start with, hey, I've done some research that I can show you, but if we don't put this back where it is, we are going to be in grave danger. Not, oh, by the way, these are a metaphor, and hey, Dad, let's spend 5 minutes of me trying to get you to remember the tapestries we saw. It was like the whole dialogue for that scene just went on way too long. It was really convoluted and like, girl, get to the point.
Yeah, you even said that. You were like, girl.
That's when I put my head down on the couch where I was like, you're not even getting to the point. No wonder they're all blowing you off. They have no idea what the hell you're saying.
Yeah, maybe that was the point. The last thing for me, the ending definitely dragged on a bit too long. It's not like it was uninteresting or there weren't great deaths because there was still good deaths and comedy and it was interesting, but come on, let's make it like an hour 35, trim off 12 minutes on the end and finish this a little sooner because an hour 47 was too long for this movie.
Also, when the hell did it become daytime? Because there was a thing where it's like they were inside, outside, daytime. You're like, what the we were both like, wait, wasn't it just night? It wasn't even sunrise. It's just middle of the day, broad daylight.
Well, that's what I said. They were inside, and I could have sworn it was nighttime, and then, Ridley busts out of a window or something. Yeah, and then just broad daylight. What? What happened there?
Yeah, that was super weird. I don't know if there was a reason for that, because they just didn't say anything.
Maybe the unicorns were using their magic to cast shadow. over the mansion, which, by the way, that mansion and the backdrop of the mountains is oh my God, the setting for this movie is fucking beautiful. So is there anything else that did not work for you?
No. I don't know. Like I said, if we discussed Jenna Ortega being typecast, not my favorite Paul Rudd. The CGI was wonky. And yeah, there are just parts that dragged on a little too long. Like crisp up some of the dialogue, mostly for Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega. Or the even the rich family. Thought they were hilarious. There were some scenes with them where we're rich and we're going to do what we want, even if it doesn't make sense. And even if it's going to get us killed thing, felt like it just started getting repetitive towards the end.
Yeah, it kind of,
yeah. It's like they didn't quite have enough story to go on. So they just kept rehashing the funnier bits after a while. So it did get a little stale.
No, I agree. 100%. So yeah, when I saw the runtime, I already knew immediately that, this is probably going to be just a bit too long. And I was definitely right. So moving on here, I don't have a hot take. There's a lot of people in the A24 group that hated this movie. I think it was great. I had a fun time, so I don't really necessarily think that's a hot take. Do you got anything? Not even specifically related to the movie. Maybe just the actors.
Was nobody's strongest film.
Really? Well, yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah. I don't know. It was a pretty strong film for Will Poulter.
He did really good.
He was killing it in this movie.
I feel like it could have used some workshopping.
The story itself, I feel, was very fleshed out. I don't think we need anything more in that department. I think we needed to actually make it more concise and to the point. I think it could have definitely benefited from that. Let's see. What do we have here? Hooked for me. I mean, I was hooked on the cold open. You see a unicorn die, or at least you think it's dead. Jenna Ortega sees the universe, and then Paul Rudd beats it to death. I was in it from the beginning. So what about you?
Yeah. I think about the time that he started smashing it in the head.
Yeah, because she's in the middle of her entranced, whatever you want to call it, seeing the farthest reaches of the universe, and then just bam, beat to death. What, with the tire iron?
Yes.
Good times. Lost for me is definitely the ending. It kind of ping-ponged back and forth from being really fun to overdoing it to silly and goofy to gory to like, all right, let's just wrap this up. So that's where I was lost. You too?
Yeah, it just... honestly, around the time that she started long-winding explaining things, I'm like, well, that's not going to do anything useful. So we're just going to keep powering through their plot line, and she's just going to run around over here. I'm like, okay.
It did kind of feel like there were two separate storylines going on a bit there. You had Ridley's thing going on, and then you had everyone else.
Yeah.
It was kind of strange.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Horror moment for me is when the unicorn sneaks up on the group when they're outside tracking the other one, and you get like this total Aliens moment where the unicorn comes up behind that, I don't know, the lady security guard, and it like shows its teeth almost like the alien popping out its I was like, oh, that's so good. It is such an Aliens moment. So that's mine. What about you?
I think where it ripped the mom's intestines out.
Oh, on the pool table?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. Favorite kill for me is that chick getting ripped in half. It was the hoof stomp at first, because I was like, that was really cool, even though it looked kind of Gumby. But then that one chick, she gets like pole vaulted by one unicorn, and then the other unicorn comes, and it was almost like that scene from Jurassic Park Lost World where that guy gets bit and ripped in half.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent of that, but it was much more bloody and gory. It's like, oh man, we're going all out with these kills.
Yeah.
So, favorite kill for you?
Where she gets her intestines ripped out.
So, the horror moment and the kill.
Yeah.
Tied into one, baby.
It was so, like, aggressively graphic for the movie, and not in context of, like, any other film. But it was just so over the top and funny compared to everybody else's. Because getting ripped in half, yeah, but it's still further back. It's a little in shadow. Yeah. And this was just full on, here's a close-up of them ripping the organs out. Like, that was funny.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
She got a really funny death. Favorite character, 3, 2, 1, Griff.
Grill? Oh.
Grill? Yes, the propane grill that they had probably on the back patio.
I said Will, but I was like, oh, right, Griff. Yeah, Griff.
Griff, the...
Butler?
Butler, I guess?
It felt like he was buttling.
felt like he was buttling, not rebuttaling. He was so goddamn funny, and I was so concerned for his safety because he disappears at one point for a while.
Yeah.
But he does make it, I think, right?
Yes, because he was in the car, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Griff was hilarious. He was this guy that, Shep's character, or Will Poulter's character, Shep, one of the funniest parts is when Paul Rudd comes down to the hot tub, and I was getting these undertones from Shep that he might have been gay because he was like, "Hey, let's pop you in some board shorts and get in this pool. We can talk." And he's like, "Yeah, but get in the hot tub." And I thought he was trying to like make a move, which would have been hilarious. But then he was like, "Griff, get us a swimsuit." And Paul Rudd's like, "No, I'm good." He's like, "Griff, never mind." It was just so goddamn funny. They treat him so terribly, and at one point he's like, "I'm not going out there to fix the gate. I have a family." And Tia Leone is like, "Oh yeah, you got a family, don't you? I knew that." Like, "Oh, you guys are so terrible.
Like, we know nothing about you."
So terrible.
But then we'll say, "Oh, he's like family to us." You know nothing.
You know nothing about him. Least favorite character for me is Ridley. I just don't think she adds anything to the story outside of telling them not to do things from her weird, mysterious unicorn book. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
Okay,
she doesn't really add much to it. She's just kind of there looking annoyed.
Yeah.
So
does not look like she wants to be there. So
yeah, it's not great.
It's not great. Favorite line for me is actually in the opening of the movie when Paul Rudd's trying to talk to his billionaire boss, and someone's like, "It sounds like a robot getting waterboarded."
Jesus.
It's just the most out-of-pocket phrase I'd ever heard. So, do you have a favorite line?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Random thoughts. I got a couple here. Paul Rudd sounds like a rocket ship when he blew his nose in this movie. He also threw all of his tissues in the car cup holders, which was gross. I wrote down, "If no one snorts the powdered unicorn horn, I'll be so mad." And then I countered that with, "I've never felt more vindicated in a movie watching experience before." And then I'm convinced that dusted unicorn horn tastes like Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
Yeah.
That's what that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Oh yeah. So expectations. I honestly had no idea what to expect other than a unicorn dying. It didn't look up the plot. Never saw the trailer and wanted to keep it that way before I watched. I figured at the bare minimum it would be funny and possibly have some gore, and I was right in those assumptions. So. Lastly here, if I reviewed horror movies on Letterboxd, it would be this. 2 unicorns crossing swords is the gayest thing I've ever seen, and it was fucking magical.
They were husband and wife.
I know, but I said, "Oh, they're crossing swords."
Wow.
That's what I said to you.
Yeah, I was like half asleep by the end of the movie.
I just thought it was,
I was sleepy.
I know they were husband and wife at the end. I know that. I thought it was funny. I love this. Anything else before we move on here?
No.
All right, cool. So, that is Death of a Unicorn. Post-review stuff. Taglines, got 2 of them. "They're going to make a killing." Love it. And "Payback is a beast." Even better. Trivia. Commenting on, this kind of goes back to what I said about aliens, but the sensors used by the scientists to detect the presence of the creatures make the same sound as the motion trackers in Aliens 1986.
Nice.
Yeah. Alex Sharfman happened to initiate the casting of Jenna Ortega right before her smash hit Netflix series Wednesday launched her into the stratosphere of the industry, and that's a little dramatic. We sent Death of a Unicorn to her the weekend before Wednesday premiered, and so I don't know what we would have done if we couldn't get Jenna. It's such a hard role, and she does an incredible job with it. So I guess this was before, I don't know about that. This was before Wednesday, but still, it's the same role. So
yeah, I'm like, was it a hard role? Really?
Was it? The unicorns make the same noises and hunt in the same way as the velociraptors from Jurassic Park. Certain shots and kills are virtually identical to the scenes from the movie, like I said, with the guy getting ripped in half.
Wow.
Basically the same. As well as the name and sound references to aliens mentioned elsewhere, the scene where the main antagonists arm themselves to hunt is virtually a shot-for-shot remake of the first encounter with the xenomorphs from the same movie. So a lot of aliens references, some Jurassic Park references. It's a good time. They should have done a Ghostbusters reference since Paul Rudd was in that, but hey, we can't get everything, I guess. Goofs, nothing I could find of value. Rated 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb. 2.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Has a 53% on the tomato meter and a 76% audience score. What did you give this?
2.5.
Ooh, wow.
Like I said, it was just like there were things I enjoyed about it, but overall there was a lot that was not like really well done.
Interesting. Okay. That's fair. I gave it a 3.5. I thought it was great. It was a great time in my opinion. Yeah, I was I wanted to give it a 4, but I was like, nah, that feels too high. Just feels a little too high. I didn't want to stick too hard to not my rule, but like, the 2 8s are usually a 4. I was like, I don't think this is, if it would have ended sooner, it would have been an easy 4. But by the time it ended, I was like, it took a little too long. I'm going to give this a 3.5. So, similar movies according to Letterboxd: Cocaine Bear, Ready or Not, Sting, Wolfman from, I think, 2025, and Abigail. And similar movies according to IMDb, we have Drop, Until Dawn, Novocaine, The Monkey, and The Woman in the Yard. Those
So
are
just movies that were recent?
That's what they do for, recently released movies. They just show you similar movies that also recently released. It's very confusing. I don't know when that changes, because it changes at some point. But anyways. Do you have any funny reviews?
Yep.
What do you have?
3 stars from There's a Hole. Wow. First time ever an art history major has had a real world practical application.
4 stars from Jer. Killing rich people gotta be one of the best genres ever. I agree. Love it.
3.5 stars from Bert. As a big lover of men's thighs, I just want to say thank you to Will Poulter.
Oh, Will Poulter. 2.5 stars from Justin Wah, W-U-A-H. They are really going to typecast Jenna Ortega as a teenager up until her 30s. Sad, but yes.
And 1.5 stars from Suspiralium. That's a way to say that. Unicorn's cool, movie bad.
Oh, I got a couple more here. 3 stars from Rendy. I really want to do a line of Unicoke, though. Love that one. 2.5 stars from Jonathan Fuji. Movie was so mid that security had to break up a fight in the front row.
Wow.
And 3.5 stars from Tim Tam Titus. Now we all know Paul Rudd's secret to eternal youth. And that is fair. Okay, if you enjoy the show, please rate and review on your favorite podcast app of choice. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Slasher, Blue Sky Threads, and YouTube at frightmarespodcast, or email us stayspooky@outlook.com. You can also follow me personally on Letterboxd at Dr. Proctor. You are
Watson LMP 90.
Booyah. Be sure to follow our sister podcast, The Shameless Picture Show, and also check out the Dead-Eyed Millennial podcast as well. 2 shows I edit. Next week, you and I will be doing Hide and Seek from 2005, which was one you recommended.
I did.
And it's something I feel like I've seen.
Have.
But I cannot tell you one thing that happened other than Robert De Niro, Dakota Fanning, spooky shit. And Famke Jensen, whatever her name is.
I saw it with my dad.
So anyways, until then, stay tuned and
stay spooky.
bye.